The timeline is in turmoil over
Again?
Sam Altman again. Backstop gate continues unabated. The main point of debate is over Sarah Fryer's comments that she used the word backstop. She backtracked on her backstop comment and said, I wasn't asking for a backstop of OpenAI equity. I was advocating for this American manufacturing plan. Here's an OpenAI document submitted 1 week ago where they advocate for including data center spend within the American manufacturing umbrella. They specifically advocate for federal loan guarantees. And Sim for Satoshi says Sam lied to everyone. Again.
Let's read the specifics.
Yes. The specifics are AI server production and AI data centers, broadening coverage of the AMIC, which is the American Advanced Manufacturing Investment Credit, will lower the effective cost of capital, de-risk early investment, and unlock private capital to help alleviate bottlenecks and accelerate the AI build in the United States. Counter the PRC by de-risking U.S. manufacturing expansion to provide manufacturers with the certainty and capital they need to scale production quickly. The federal government should also deploy grants, cost-sharing agreements, loans, or loan guarantees to expand industrial base capacity and resilience.
So what's happening here is OpenAI a week ago, and everyone can go and read this letter, which is publicly available on their website, was making the recommendation that the government should effectively treat data centers or AI or token factories, put them in the manufacturing bucket, which would qualify them for similar incentives that traditional manufacturing, defense tech, etc.
And I don't have a problem with asking the government for a handout. I think that that's actually like best practice. It's actually in your shareholders' responsibility. Like you have a fiduciary duty to ask the government for as much help as possible. You have every incentive to ask your person in Congress and your senator, the people in Washington, to do everything they can to support your mission. This has worked out in the past with Elon and Tesla. It didn't work out in the case of Solyndra. The game on the field is if there are taxpayer dollars that are moving around the board, you want to get those into the industries that are aligned with you.
And so the thing that people are taking issue with is that in the opening of his message yesterday, he said, we do not have or want government guarantees for OpenAI data centers.
Yes.
And that seems to conflict with the message, the letter that they wrote a week ago that is still up on their website.
You can always advocate for like, we should change the game. Like we shouldn't be doing this. Like I would prefer a more of a free market economy, but in the world where we're not in a free market economy, you want to have your company win, right? That's just rational. Now, it is weird optics to talk about the game on the field. And that's very odd. When you say, oh yeah, this is a one hand washes the other situation, or oh yeah, this is a situation where, you know, a backstop will allow us to be more aggressive. That feels like the banker saying, oh yeah, I knew that the government was going to bail us out in 2008, so I was intentionally underwriting loans where it was somebody's fifth house and I knew that they couldn't pay it. I wasn't asking about their job. I wasn't asking about their income. I wasn't asking about their assets.
Which is why I kind of expect a lot more of the narrative and to shift towards subsidizing and incentivizing bringing new energy.
You were talking about that yesterday.
Which directly benefits the labs and anybody building a data center. But it also feels very much in America's interest broadly. It theoretically would benefit the average American too.
OpenAI needs to be crystal clear about the position that they're in, which is that they are the hottest company in the world. There is unlimited demand for their shares. They could be a public company. They could go raise more private capital. They need to be on the opposite end of the risk curve from the stuff that's like, no one really wants to invest in an American fab that might lose money for a decade. Like when you think about the things that make money in the short term, it's SaaS, right? AI for SaaS.
People's concern for government-backed data center lending is that you're lending against chips, which have a really fast depreciation schedule. We don't know. And if you look at right now, CoreWeave's corporate default swaps are now sitting around 500 basis points, jumped up dramatically. This is one of the leading neoclouds,
they are
only
in the platinum
neocloud in the platinum tier, and people are worried about them, right? Potentially, having some bankruptcy risk. And so if you start doing government guaranteed data center lending, you could get in a situation where there's a bunch of new data centers that come online that really don't have a clear pathway to ROI. And it just incentivizes the entire stack to just really exuberant. Going back to Sarah Fryer's interview on Wednesday. She felt the market was not exuberant enough. There's been a lot of insanity this year, silliness. Maybe we don't need more. The director of the Federal Housing Finance Agency, William Polt, says Fannie and Freddie eyeing stakes in tech firms. Bill Polt, the director of the Federal Housing Finance Agency, said that Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are looking at ways to take equity stakes in technology companies. We have some of the biggest technology and public companies offering equity to Fannie and Freddie in exchange for Fannie and Freddie partnering with them in our business. We're looking at taking stakes in companies that are willing to give it to us because of how much power Fannie and Freddie have over the whole ecosystem.
This Wall Street Journal event is just so many articles came out of this. Did you get a whole new soundboard? What's going on with the soundboard?
I did. I still got all the classics.
Got all the
but I'm working with some new material. Let's give it up for global businessmen.
Let's give it up. You have a new neighbor. So Tom Petty apparently lived in your neighborhood in Malibu, California. He was living in Malibu in a $11.2 million house, 8,744 square feet, 7 bedrooms. It has a music studio. The buyer is Stephen Slade Tien, a psychoanalyst and author. Tien didn't respond for a request for comment. I wonder if he'd want to get beer sometime, hang out. We should reach out to him for comment.
That'd be fun. I was at the first ever Outside Lands.
Really? How old are you?
Tom Petty headlined on Saturday. This was in August of 2008. And that was my first time smelling cannabis. And I kept asking his friend's parents, what is that stinky smell?
It's so stinky.
we can't get away from it.
Yeah, hilarious. Elon's $1 trillion pay package is done, it's signed, it's approved. I'm sure it will be contested in the courts. It's always contested in the courts. Elon could get $1 trillion in Tesla stock if he hits all these different tranches. He's worth $500 billion now, but he also owns 414 million Tesla shares outright, got another award in 2018 of 300 million shares, and this next award is 424 million across 12 tranches. Basically, what he already had, they're giving him the same amount again. And there's a bunch of things that he has to do. He has to get the market cap really, really high. And then there's also these qualitative operational goals, or I guess they're quantitative. 50 billion in EBITDA, 20 million cars delivered, 1 million robots sold, 1 million robotaxis in operation, 10 million full self-driving subscription. Now, some of those are obviously more gameable than others. What's the definition of a robot? If he comes out with a really cheap robot and he sells a bunch of those because it's more of a toy, does that really fulfill the goal? What's the definition of a robotaxi?
What qualifies? Is it just a Tesla that is enabled?
Yep, and I turn on FSD and my friend rides in it.
Is there anything for actual rides?
Some of these are more gameable than others, but the market cap really isn't.
How many self-driving subscriptions are there today?
I looked that up. It's somewhere between 1 and 3 million right now. So he definitely has to triple the size at least. He hasn't sold any robots, so 1 million would be entirely new robots. He's obviously delivering a lot of cars. And on the EBITDA front, 50 billion in EBITDA. Company did 13 last year, so that's a huge increase in EBITDA. I mean, 50 billion in EBITDA is a lot of money. He only has to take the market cap to 8.5 trillion, and Tesla's already worth $1 trillion. So it's going to be weird to live in the world of the trillionaire. But we are getting close. That's going to happen, not just within our lifetime, definitely within the next decade. I wonder how that's going to reshape our culture, the world in America, because when billionaires became so prevalent and prominent, there was a lot of heat that was taken off the millionaire.
Billionaires are the heat shield.
Yeah, so the millionaire became more accessible, and the billionaire became the thing that the society scapegoats for all the problems.
Yeah, approximately 9.4 to 9.5% of American adults are millionaires.
Yeah, what happens to the billionaire when trillionaires come in? What happens when you have to say trillionaires are the real policy failure, but billionaires are also the policy failure, and millionaires we're kind of okay with, but it's not great. It's it becomes much more complicated. What does this mean for other companies? What does it mean for Sam Altman at OpenAI? Can he run a similar playbook? Could he go to the OpenAI for-profit board and say, hey, if OpenAI IPOs at $2 trillion, I want 20%. We know that Sam runs a bit of an Elon playbook. They were in business together. They co-founded OpenAI together. And then I also wonder what will happen at the garden variety unicorn. If you're just the CEO of a $5 billion company and you're just kind of hanging out there and you say yeah, I had 30% of the company when I started. I've been diluted down to 5 or 10. But I like this company and I want to get it up. Could I go to the board and say, okay, we're at 5 billion now. If I get us to 50, will you double my equity position? How would the growth stage venture companies feel about that?
I think the right way for founders to think about that is like, no one's taking your shares unless you decide to sell them. Your job is just to make the share price go up, and there's going to be more shares issued over time. But if you just make the share price go up forever, it doesn't really matter.
And you can also
but then
buy
there's
back.
also you can also buy back. Almost no other CEOs would take a deal like because it's so ambitious. And so I think it's healthy.
Our good friend Tyler Cosgrove has put together a slide deck for us that tries to help map the Mag 7, really, I call it the TBPN top 10. TBPN top 10, the 10 most important companies in AI, loosely. The Mag 7 plus a few bonus ones. And we're going to try and take through, and look, you're about to hit the horse. We're going to try and go through the various companies and rank them based on how AGI pilled they are and how much they need AGI. Is that right?
So basically, on the horizontal, we have how AGI pilled they are.
Sure.
So I feel like that's fairly self-explanatory. You kind of believe that AI will become something like it can produce the median economic output of a person. So then on the vertical axis, we have how much they need AGI.
Okay.
So I think this is maybe a little harder. So I want to qualify this. So I mean, this doesn't necessarily believe that you have this kind of sentient, AI that's as good as a person. But I think it more so in this context just means that AI will continue to become more and more economically valuable. Let's start with Sam Altman. He believes in AGI, right? He runs kind of the biggest AI company.
I think that more and more, at least in the short term, OpenAI looks like a hyperscaler. They're kind of a junior hyperscaler. And I think their actions are more, I think that OpenAI, a lot of people, want to say that they're bearish on OpenAI at the current levels. But ultimately, when you look at how their business is evolving, they seem to me like they'd be fine if the model's plateaued.
Next, we have Dario. He's extremely AGI pilled. This is kind of the reasoning why he's so anti-China, right? Because he sees it as an actual race. This is going to superintelligence.
It is nuclear weapons.
It is a national, security.
Totally.
It's a problem if China gets there first.
UAV online.
You need a lot of continued growth for Anthropic to keep kind of making sense economically, I think. Next is Larry. Larry's in kind of an interesting spot here. So this is kind of a weird place to be where you don't believe in AGI, but you need it.
How did he wind up there?
He doesn't seem the type that believes in some kind of super intelligent God that is going to come, that's going to, birth this new thing, and humanity will rise. Satya.
Okay.
There we go.
I think this is a fairly reasonable spot. Obviously, there's some sense where he is slightly AGI pilled, or maybe more than slightly.
Clearly believes in the power of the technology.
Yeah, I mean, he's very early on OpenAI. He thinks that AI in general will become very useful, but maybe it won't become, super intelligent. Maybe it's not going to replace every person. It's just a useful tool. It's the next
quote I always go back to is him saying, like, my definition of AGI is just greater economic growth. So show me the economic numbers, and that will be. It's like it's a very practical definition.
I think people see him as very reasonable. He's not getting over his skis.
I like him
His
in the
actions make
center.
a lot
I
of
like him
sense.
in the center of the grid somewhere. That seems like a real.
He's also. If OpenAI works out, he'll do very well. If they don't work out, I think he's hedged. He's doing quite well. If Jensen was very AGI pilled, I mean, he is the kind of. He's the rock on which this all is built on. He has the chips.
He has the chips.
If he was AGI pilled, he would not be giving out those chips. He would keep them all to himself, and he would be training his own model. So that's why I think he's more on the doesn't believe in AGI side. There was a new blog post yesterday. It was basically AI 2027. There was a new one. It was AI 2032. So it's basically very similar
arguments. Wait, is it
the same team? Different team, but the team of AI 2027 was promoting it.
Sundar. He believes in AGI more than Satya, you think?
Yeah, well, I think you can see this in kind of, they were even earlier in some sense than Satya, right, with DeepMind.
There is a little bit of like, if you really believe in AGI, the actions that we see are you like squirming and being like, I gotta get in. It doesn't matter if I'm 1% behind or 10% behind or 80% behind. I gotta get in.
I think Sundar is also definitely below this line because Google has been doing very well. AI was at first. I mean, people thought of AI as like, oh, this is gonna destroy Google. This is bad for Google. So if AI doesn't work, then Google's just in the spot they were before, which is doing very well. If AI does work, then I mean, Gemini is one of the best models. They'll do very well. So Zuck is also kind of in an interesting spot.
Yes.
I think Zuck is actually someone who has shifted rightward.
It's fascinating. It felt like Zuck was sort of like, oh yeah, AI, like it's this cool thing. I'm going to check the box. I got my team. We did this fun little side project. It's this open source model. We kind of found our own like little lane, but we're not like competing in the big cosmic battle.
Do you think that was just a counterposition to way to win, like try to win the AI war? Go say, hey, we're just going to try to commodify this market and like
commoditize
take the Chinese approach.
So Elon, I mean, he's been AGI pilled, I think, for a very long time.
Super AGI pilled. I agree with that.
OpenAI co-founder. Even before that, I think he was fairly big in the safety space.
Totally.
You see him even on Joe Rogan. He was talking about AI safety.
He still believes
this is
it.
an important
He
thing.
hasn't backed off.
And AI safety is important because it's going to become super intelligent. It's going to take over the world. We need to be safe.
Totally.
So he talked yesterday about humanoids being sort of an infinite money glitch. And I feel like you kind of need AGI in order to kind of unlock the infinite money glitch.
Yes, but at the same time, very strong core business. The cars don't need AGI. The rockets don't need AGI. Starlink doesn't need AGI. So he's not entirely indexed on it in the way the foundation labs are.
Chad says, "Where's Tyler on the chart?" Feels like Tyler isn't AGI pilled anymore.
Let's figure out.
I actually am on the chart here.
Let's go to Tyler.
I am. So I'm over here. Whoa. So I think I'm very AGI pilled, right? I'm ready for the Dyson sphere.
Yes.
I think it's only a matter of years, handful.
Only a matter of years.
And if AI does not work, the macro economy is looking not good. So I feel pretty bad about my job outlook without AGI.
Sure. Even though you're already employed.
Breaking news.
Through the timeline. What's the breaking news?
TJ Parker has finally found a new car that he likes.
Huge.
Guess what it is? Guess. It is the
Ford
Raptor R.
Oh,
Look at this. Finally found a new vehicle I quite like and great gas mileage to boot.
This was the problem with your Ford Raptor. It wasn't the R.
0 to 60 in 3.9.
720 horsepower. 5.2 liter supercharged V8.
Altman today, we're looking at selling compute, but we need as much as possible. Zuck last week, we could sell compute. Are we in a compute shortage or not? Because both are saying they're buying as much of it as they can and thinking about selling it.
I like that story about Jensen where like he understands the dynamic here, but there's still, you get kind of crushed if there's a sell-off in terms of demand.
It's not the worst idea to buy as much as you can so that you have preferred access to it and then resell some if you have more than you need.
I mean, we just talked to David Baszucki from Roblox, and he was saying that, look, we had our own on-prem, but then we had spikes of demand. And so we went to the hyperscalers for that because they can load balance across, well, people are playing Roblox here, and then maybe they watch some Netflix over there, and they are storing, all sorts of different data. And there's different workloads that happen at different times. Jumping straight to selling compute, I think that the timelines are a little bit funky on this one. It seems odd. It seems rushed. Elon apparently confirmed that Tesla is going to build a semiconductor fab.
It's still not enough. So I think we may have to do a Tesla terafab.
Whoa.
Great name.
So
that is a bombshell.
It's like Giga, but way bigger.
Tera, yeah. Terabyte.
He's feeling good right now.
I can't see any other way to get to the volume of chips that we're looking for. So I think we're probably going to have to build a gigantic chip fab.
Morris Chang at TSMC is like, no, I'm fine. I will supply you. Samsung is like, I'm good. I will do it.
Pull up this other video of Optimus.
That was so funny.
This thing has motion.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Imagine you're working late at the office one night and this thing just walks out onto the floor and starts looking at you and doing these moves.
Yeah. Most people that bought Teslas already had cars, right? And so it was just like a one-for-one swap. Who are you replacing with this?
Well, with this, you can replace an exotic dancer.
Yes, that's true. Elon Musk now has $1 trillion in his bank account. That's 1,000 times $1 billion. He could give every single human on Earth $1 billion and still be left with $992 billion. Let that sink in. People love this funny math whenever it drops. China has a similar humanoid robotic project, although it's way, way scarier because it went full Terminator mode on this. Getting spooky territory. This is pretty crazy. In the last 10 months, 3 very talented friends have joined separate, hot, early-stage startups in senior roles and quit after realizing that the company's actual revenue was significantly less than what the founder had told them during the interview process and shared online.
Yeah, again, this going back to spring, right? That just felt like there was this, every founder was feeling this insane pressure to show like 1 to 10 million of, like a 1 to 10 million ramp that was just insane.
And the weird dynamic is that like as that pressure ramps up, you just get more and more incentive to fake it with community adjusted ARR and contracts that don't actually stick. And
Kazakhstan has signed an MOU to buy up to 2 billion of advanced chips from NVIDIA. Let's hit the gong for Kazakhstan. Warm it up, warm it up, warm it up. Boom. Great hit. Great hit for our friends in Kazakhstan. Good to see them getting into the game.
Maybe they should do Borat 3 about data centers.
Love that.
Breaking NVIDIA's losses accelerated to negative 5% on the day, now down 16% since Monday's high. That marks a drop of 800 billion since Monday. Wow, that is a wild sell-off. Didn't Tyler quote this and say, is this bullish or something like that?
No, that was on the DoorDash. They went down 20%.
Everyone's down 10 or 20%. We need
whether you beat or miss, you're going down. Heisenberg is sharing a little bit of red here. Microsoft down 10% in the last 8 days.
What the hell is he doing?
He's shopping.
Microsoft went down 3 points.
That's real good.
Meta down 18%. Losses have accelerated. My inbox is full of people breathlessly trying to interpret this, and it is a 1-year look at SPY.
It's over. It's just completely over. The bubble popped. Now it's ready to start rebuilding.
It was a good run.
We can go up from here.
Oh, the stocks have already stopped trading, so we're safe now.
We're safe. It can't hurt us anymore.
The economy can't hurt you on the weekend. Bank of America,
yes,
as of yesterday, just fully recovered from the global financial crisis.
Wow.
Took 19 years.
To the day, and then it's like back in another crisis. Can you imagine? Famously backstopped by none other than Warren Buffett.
There was some more information on the
Snapchat
Perplexity deal. Snap gets $400 million, which is greater than Perplexity's total revenue.
Mm-hmm.
Snap gives nothing except access to.
Wait. It's more? What? They're paying more than their revenue? The deal looks incredibly in Snap's favor. Snap gets $400 million, greater than Perplexity total revenue. Now, Signal is saying this is most likely $399 million of Perplexity equity to Snap, not cash. So there is a question about how much of it is cash, but it is possible that they're just giving $400 million of equity, like a stock grant.
I was surprised that Snapchat has not figured out a way to just monetize all the capital that a lot of these consumer AI companies have, given their massive, massive user base.
Snap will be integrating Perplexity directly into Snapchat's chat interface. Perplexity will pay Snap $400 million over a year in a mix of cash and stock as part of the deal, and gets access to Snap's 900 million monthly active users.
Snapchat's going to accidentally build AGI just trying to make the dog filter blink realistically.
I love it.
Deutsche Bank is exploring ways to hedge its exposure to AI to data centers. It's looking at options, including shorting a basket of AI-related stocks and buying default protection via synthetic risk transfers. So,
like, everyone is getting in on the action. Like a few years ago, it was like, if you have anything that's related to AI, like go, raise money, grow it, spin it, flip it, turn it around, pivot it, whatever you want to do.
Have a great weekend, everyone. We love you.
Goodbye.
See you Monday.